When you enter the industrial area, flames erupting from the floor make the opening seem unfair. Once you know the right approach, the floor is manageable. Real challenge of stage 4 is endurance, one life bar against a long stretch of difficult enemies. The most important rule here is simple. Stay in the horizontal lane you start in. Do not move up or down until you've cleared the molten metal area. If a scramble knocks you out of position, immediately move back to your starting lane. At the start, flames will erupt directly in your lane. Once you get past that first set, your lane stays clear for the rest of the section. To get through safely, do one forward jump, then immediately back jump to the second set of flames. 4 enemies will approach from the right, 2 basic grunts, a boxer, and a blocker. This is where you have to fight the instinct to dodge vertically. Stay in your starting lane. Moving up or down is a virtually guaranteed way to get knocked into the flames. You can use these flames to your advantage too. Because you're positioned in a safe corridor between 2 rows of eruptions, the environment becomes a barrier. By staying towards the left side of the screen, enemies trying to move into position around you will walk directly into the flames. Enemies entering from both sides will tempt you to move vertically. Don't. 2 enemies will approach from the right first. Knock them down with a quick combo, then turn left and take a small step into position. When the blocker and boxer arrive, use a Capcom throw to immediately put everyone on your right side. The final wave is a pincer attack. Andore from the right and Poison jumping in with an attack from the left. Andore is the real threat here, since a charge can knock you out of the safe lane and into the flames. Stand just left of center and let Poison's jump carry her over you. Chill with putting both enemies on your right side. We're out of the flame section and into the L-shaped corner. Take the guaranteed full heal from the top barrel, but leave the bottom barrel untouched. We'll need it shortly after for a resource carry. The next group is similar, but this time the enemies immediately kick the barrels at you. You can time a normal attack or jumping kick to destroy the rolling barrel before it hits you, but if you want a much safer option, use your super attack instead. The invincibility and the wide hitbox make it much easier to avoid taking damage and getting knocked down by a rolling barrel. Before moving on, set up the resource carry. The next fight is against 2 charging bulls, and this lets you bring a full heal into that encounter. Since we've already preserved the bottom barrel, keep it partially visible at the bottom of the screen, then use a jumping kick to knock the full heal further to the right so it carries into the next fight. After setting up the resource carry, get ready for the 2 bulls. As you move forward, when the chicken is sitting at the bottom left corner of the screen, that's your visual cue that the bulls are about to charge in. Their charge pace may vary. Sometimes they both run in slowly, sometimes both charge in fast, and sometimes they come in at different speeds, which makes the opening much harder to read. You have 2 options here. If your goal is to maximize your chance of clearing the opening charge and setting up a despawn, back jump as the bulls come in. This gives you a much better chance of landing to the right side of both bulls, so you can throw one into the other and despawn them. But because the back jump advances the screen, you lose access to the chicken. If you want to preserve the chicken, use a neutral jump into Cody's knee attack instead. Because the neutral jump does not advance the screen, the full heal remains available. You're either trying to jump over the second bull and throw, or knee the second bull and immediately go for the throw. This method is less reliable for immediately clearing the bulls, but if you get clipped, you can still fight normally and proactively throw the bulls off screen, then grab the chicken to recover. One aggressive option is to immediately try to despawn Andore and the blocker. The appeal is obvious. This removes the most dangerous part of the encounter right away. The Andore blocker combination is dangerous because the blocker can disrupt your offense and create openings for Andore's rush attack and long range jab, while Poison is constantly trying to jump over you and create a pincer. The downside is execution. Go for the throw, you still need to avoid getting clipped by Andore during the recovery frames of your throw. Avoid Poison, and deal with 2 boxers that can appear quickly enough to punish your back jump. The main aggressive strategy is to intentionally advance the screen and bring the two boxers into the fight, then try to despawn Andore, the blocker, and both boxers at once. This avoids the problem of the boxers interrupting your back jump during mid-despawn. The downside is the boxers may start playing footsies and standing just outside of your attack range, and buy enough time for enemies you threw to the left to recover an attack from behind. My preferred strategy is to remove poison and the blocker before dealing with Andore. When Andore and the blocker arrive, try to occupy them and knock them down before poison jumps in. Once poison comes in, grab her. If Andore and the blocker are both down, knee bash her for her extra damage before throwing her back into the group. If they're still standing, don't get greedy and throw her immediately. From there, keep looking for opportunities to remove the support characters. Poison gets behind you, focus on occupying or knocking down Andore and the blocker so you can safely grab her and throw her back again. If Andore and the blocker are both down, take the extra knee bashes on poison before the throw. If the blocker gets isolated, the same rule applies. Knee bash him if it's safe, then throw him back into Andore. If Andore is still standing and threatening you, skip the knee bashes and throw immediately. Once poison and the blocker are gone, you can either finish Andore normally, or stand in the bottom left corner, mash attack until he approaches, and Capcom throw him to the left for the despawn. Once Andore is gone, the two boxers are easy cleanup. This encounter can get hectic quickly. 2 knife guys enter, followed by 3 basic enemies. Shortly after that, 2 red Hollywoods will enter, throw bombs, and leave. A second pair of red Hollywoods follows soon after and does the same thing. The knife guys are the main threat here. The basic enemies create pressure and distract you from fighting the knife guys, while the red Hollywood bombs force you to reposition at the worst possible time. Any one of these problems is manageable on its own, but dealing with all of them at once is what makes this encounter dangerous. My preferred strategy is to use the infinite on the 2 knife guys. Try to line them up and start the infinite as early as possible. In the best case, the 3 basic enemies will funnel into the infinite as they enter the screen, get caught in it as well. One useful tip about this fight is that the top lane remains safe from the red Hollywood bombs. If you move up to the top lane, flames created by their bombs will never reach you. Even if you don't fully kill the knife guys with the infinite, you can deal significant damage, which makes the rest of the fight much easier. An easier approach is to just focus on keeping all the enemies on your left side. Use the wall on the right to protect your back and avoid letting enemies get behind you. As long as you prevent the fight from turning into a pincer, you'll have more control over the encounter. Another option is to throw the knife guys towards the wall, hope they drop their knives, and try to take a weapon for yourself. If you can secure the knife and trap them against the wall, there's a chance to eliminate one or both knife guys before the next wave fully develops. This strategy has a high payoff, but it depends on getting the knife quickly and finishing them off as soon as possible. If you do not completely finish the knife guys, you can still super attack to keep the basic enemies at bay when they arrive. Now we're onto the auto-scrolling elevator section. The first wave consists of poison, Andore, 2 basic enemies, and a boxer. At the start, stand near the top middle of the elevator and grab Andore as he lands. Throw Andore immediately. Once Andore is thrown, begin attacking the group. If you're positioned correctly, the boxer will land directly into your attack when he becomes active. You want to stand just far enough to the right so poison can easily jump behind you as you are attacked, but not so far to the right that the boxer lands behind you when he enters the fight. If poison manages to jump behind you, knock down the enemies in front of you, then grab poison as she lands and throw her back into the group. Rolento will also throw 3 grenades into the elevator during this wave of enemies. The grenade locations are random, so if one lands near you, reposition yourself before it explodes and continue attacking the enemies. The grenades can damage enemies as well, so don't be afraid to let them do some work for you. The second wave consists of 2 poisons and an Andore. The goal here is to push the group into the bottom left corner of the elevator and keep the poisons from jumping behind you. There are 2 ways to set this up. One option is to stand to the right of where the poison on the right will land and use a forward jump kick as she lands. The other option is to stand below where she'll land, grab her, and throw her into the rest of the group. Both approaches are trying to accomplish the same thing: force the enemies into the bottom left corner and keep them there. If you use the throw setup, the left poison may jump behind you while you're trying to throw the other poison. If that happens, grab her and throw her back into the group. A knife, a sword, and a pipe will also land on the elevator during this wave. Rolento will also throw 3 grenades into the elevator during this wave. If one lands near you, reposition yourself before it explodes and continue to control the group. Final enemy wave consists of 3 knife guys. Stand below where the knife guy on the left will land and grab him as he lands. Throw him into the other 2 knife guys to immediately group them together. Ideally, you still have the knife from the previous wave, or one of the knife guys drops a knife that you can pick up. Once the group is clustered together, push them to the bottom right corner of the elevator and attack them against the wall. Your goal is to eliminate the knife guys before Rolento starts attacking you. If everything goes well, you can even defeat all 3 before Rolento spawns. The best case scenario is defeating the knife guys quickly enough so that you're already standing to the right of Rolento when he spawns on the top left corner of the elevator. If you can do that, immediately start the infinite before he has a chance to establish any offense. This boss fight is significantly easier if you're comfortable executing the infinite. It's even easier if you can perform the infinite while standing to the right of Rolento instead of only on the left side. If you miss that opening, wait for Rolento to create another one. Rolento approaches you in 3 ways. Rolento will jump off the wall and attack you. His wall jump attack tracks your character, so move out of the way by going up or down and reposition yourself next to where you were originally standing. Rolento will land where your character was when he launched his attack, giving you an opportunity to perform the infinite. Rolento will jump onto the beam in the background and perform another attack that tracks your character's location. Just like the wall jump attack, move out of the way, reposition yourself next to where you were standing, and perform the infinite. Sometimes Rolento will try to either throw you or attack with his baton. A forward jump kick or a super attack will beat both options and deal damage. His baton attack won't knock you down, so if he lands that baton attack, you'll have the opportunity to perform an infinite on him. If you decide to fight Rolento without the infinite, or you drop the infinite, his final phase begins when he reaches half health of his last life bar. At that point, he'll start zigzagging around the screen and throwing grenades everywhere. When this happens, I like spamming super attacks. The invincibility frames of the super helps you avoid damage from the grenades, and you just have to hit him 3 or 4 times to finish him off. Sometimes you'll have the opportunity to do forward jumping kicks or neutral jumping kicks when he is stationary tossing grenades. If you enjoyed these Final Fight tutorials and want to watch more videos of Final Fight or other Capcom beat 'em ups, please like and subscribe. Now that we've gone through the strategies, I'll show you a playthrough of level 4.